I have been looking keenly into this AI regime, and since GPT-4, this is the first real banger. It's called Gemini. Born in the research centers of Google, this tool will outdate GPT-4 and is set to change the AI game forever. Why am I saying this? Well, here is all you need to know about it. So what is Gemini? Gemini is an acronym for the grandly named Generalized Multimodal Intelligence Network. Typically, artificial intelligence systems with their inherent specificity are masters of one data type, be it text, images, or even audio. Yet Gemini scoffs at such limitations. Like the constellation it's named after, it's not a singular entity, but rather a cluster, a multimodal intelligence network, capable of handling not just one, but a multitude of data types concurrently. It digests streams of text, deciphers cryptic images, listens to audio, watches videos, explores the complexities of 3D models, and even navigates intricate graphs, all at once. Yet, the true marvel of Gemini isn't its vast appetite for data, but its architecture, its structure that is more akin to a hive than a single entity. Within Gemini's vast expanse lies not a solitary model, but a grand network of models, each bringing its own unique skill to the collective table. Rather than deploying an army of specialized models for each task, Gemini weaves a tapestry of intelligence, each strand contributing to the whole. The models in Gemini's network do not work in isolation. They exist in an ecosystem of knowledge, each contributing, sharing, and learning from their counterparts. Together, they make Gemini not just another AI tool, but an extraordinarily powerful and versatile one. Each model is a note, and together they play the symphony of Gemini's intelligence, heralding a new dawn in the era of AI. Okay, so all of that means a great deal, and you must be wondering how this model works. At its core, Gemini houses a dynamic duo, a multimodal encoder and decoder, working in perfect synchrony to convert various types of data into a universal lexicon. The encoder, like a polyglot, takes in disparate data forms, be it text, images, sounds, videos, intricate 3D models, or complex graphs. It then performs a feat of translation, metamorphosing these multifaceted inputs into a unified language, a common code that the decoder can comprehend. Once the encoder has done its job, the stage is set for the model, an elegant tool that remains agnostic to the specifics of the task at hand. It doesn't discriminate between tasks, instead focusing on the job it's assigned to perform. It doesn't ask what it's processing, it simply does its duty. The model takes the encoded inputs, now transformed into a universal language, and processes them based on the task it has been given. Enter the decoder. With the inputs now processed, the decoder picks up the baton. It generates outputs based on the task it was assigned and the user's preferences, mirroring the multimodal capabilities of the encoder. It transforms the processed information back into various formats, converting the universal language back into a modality that best suits the user's needs. And finally, like the concluding notes of a symphony, the outputs, transformed, processed, and decoded, are returned to the user. Thus, through a seamless ballet of translation, processing, and conversion, Gemini achieves a feat of multimodal intelligence unprecedented in the field of AI. Okay. So, I made an intriguing claim in the beginning that Gemini will outsmart GPT-4. Now, I'm going to extend this claim and take the liberty to say that Gemini is also set to compete with GPT-5. But how? In the endless race to create the most advanced AI, Google is investing heavily, fully aware that the trail behind GPT-4 now could mean never catching up at all. You see, with each progressive cycle, artificial intelligence becomes increasingly intelligent. And the specter that looms large, the point that Google likely fears most, is the moment when the AI becomes sophisticated enough to train its successor. At present, there are countless individuals around the globe refining these extensive language models, fine-tuning them with human feedback in a process known as reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF. But in the not-too-distant future, these mammoth language models may reach a stage where they can train themselves. Once we cross that threshold, we'll witness exponential growth as these AI models become self-improving. Trying to compete with an entity that's self-improving and far ahead in the race is a daunting challenge. These automated systems could run unattended for extended periods, continuously advancing, making the competition seem futile. In anticipation of this, Google is pouring billions into Gemini, a project that promises to be groundbreaking. Google, though it discusses numerous ambitious ventures, not millions literally, but certainly many, the company has showcased some groundbreaking work recently, such as their astonishing Wave LM music model, which appears to have gone largely unnoticed. But Gemini is likely to take our interaction with these extensive language models to a new level, beginning with text. and eventually encompassing a wider array of modalities, as Google is clearly focusing on multimodality. Gemini is currently not in active use. It's still in the crucible of training, but we should not underestimate its potential. I firmly believe that it could outshine even GPT-5. This bold prediction stems from Google's presentation about the team behind Gemini, taking into account their past achievements, which were all well ahead of OpenAI at the time. If they consolidate their resources and direct their collective energy towards this single, extensive language model, they could indeed revolutionize the AI landscape. For those unfamiliar with their past work, consider AlphaGo as an example. This revolutionary computer program was a milestone for Google, blending an advanced search tree with deep neural networks. It could process descriptions of the Go board through millions of neuron-like connections, ultimately triumphing over the world's best player. This remarkable achievement, chronicled in a fascinating documentary, made waves in 2017 and is a testament to the team's potential. We have talked about harsh AI battles. Now let's talk about something soothing. And nothing is more soothing than art. Gemini shines bright in that domain as well. In the world of art, Gemini's most electrifying facet is its ability to step beyond the realm of the known into the world of original creation. While typical AI models are tethered to the confines of their training data, Gemini possesses the extraordinary power to generate completely new outputs. It is capable of crafting content that doesn't simply echo its training data, but rather blossoms into something uniquely its own. This gives Gemini a magical flair for creativity, making it an invaluable asset for imaginative tasks. Imagine requesting Gemini to weave a story or craft a piece of art. Instead of merely reproducing a tale or an artwork it's encountered in its data, it embarks on an exciting venture into the unfamiliar. Drawing from the patterns and structures ingrained in its memory during training, it forges something entirely unique, a novel creation born of digital intellect. Furthermore, Gemini is not shackled to one modality. Its talent for creation extends across various formats, tailored to the user's preferences. Its palette includes, but is not limited to, text, images, and audio. So whether you crave a meticulously crafted report, a vibrant visual diagram, or an immersive audio narration, Gemini stands ready. Its vast array of talents at your service. Gemini's multimodal superpowers enable it to take a long book, a lengthy podcast, or an extended video and summarize it for you. It's like having a personal assistant that can give you the main points of a big document or a long lecture in just a few moments, saving you loads of time. Think of Gemini as a translator too, but it's not just about turning French into English or Spanish into Italian. It's also about changing one type of information into another. For example, imagine having a written description of a fancy car, and Gemini could help you visualize it as an image or even a 3D model. It's like having your very own digital artist. All these amazing capabilities come from the fact that Gemini boasts the power of reasoning. Yes, it can think. Not exactly like humans though, but close. It can take different bits of information, mix them together, and come up with conclusions. This means it could help solve problems or make decisions, much like a smart friend who's great at giving advice. All of that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? But I have seen one problem with Google that might hamper the company's progress. Before moving to that problem, please hit the subscribe button, because bringing the latest and greatest for you demands a lot of effort. Let's make this simple for you. Google has a lot on their plate. They have tons of different ideas and projects they could work on, but haven't decided where to put their main focus yet. Meanwhile, OpenAI has become an internet sensation because they chose to concentrate on one thing: building a really good chatbot. Google, on the other hand, has many tools in the making. They have the things that can change text into videos or sounds, and lots of other really cool software. But for some reason, they haven't released these tools yet. However, things are about to change. Google has two big teams working together on their projects. This could mean they'll be coming up with some really amazing stuff soon. While we don't know when they're going to release their new project, Gemini, I think it might be sometime next year. Google certainly wouldn't want to be outshone by GPT5. Another big project from OpenAI, Gemini has the ability to work with different types of data, and I believe when it's finally ready, it's going to be really impressive. So what do you think about Gemini? Will it deliver? Let me know in the comment section below. Just by the way, have you seen the wild new Tesla Optimus bots? They look absolutely sick now. To find out more about them, click on this video link popping up, and I'll see you there soon.